Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'll be showing you how to make this BouBou kaftan with a collar at the front. This is the fabric I want to use. So considering the design of this fabric, this side is where I want to be at the bottom towards the hem. So for now, from here to here, I have about 45, but the length that I want is about 62 inches in total. So what I'll do now is to cut another piece of fabric, and then I'll join it to the top of the fabric so that I can have 62 inches in length. But if your fabric does not have any special design like this one, you can fold your fabric this way, then you get the length. Otherwise, you just have to do it this way. Join your fabric first at the top before you continue. Alright, I have joined the fabric, and then from here to here is the desired length, which is 62 inches. So I've placed this paper on this fabric because if I chalk the fabric, you will not see it well. So this covers for the top part, which is the most important. And also I have folded the fabric into 4. So in total, the width of the fabric that I have on fold is 21 inches. Between 19 to 21 inches is okay for a medium sized person, but if you're on the bigger side, you can use up to 25 inches on fold, and then you use your desired length. So the first thing I am going to do is to get my shoulder to hip measurement. My shoulder to hip measurement is 24. Also, I am going to come to this side and measure about 12 inches downward. So this is going to be the sleeve opening. Now on my hip line, I am going to measure my hip measurement divided by 4. Mine is 42. 42 divided by 4, that is 10.5 plus 3 inches. If you're on the big side, you can do up to 4 to 5, but I think 3 inches is okay for a medium-sized person. Now I have 13.5. So now it is the same 13.5 that I'm going to mark straight down to the M. This is my M. I have 13.5. Then you rule a straight line from your hip straight down to the hem. I've already marked this with a chalk. Now to the top part again, I'm going to mark about 2 inches inward from that sleeve opening, and then I'll do a curl from the hip measurement straight to here. If you want yours to be well pronounced, you can go like this, okay, and do it like a C, like a S curve, but I don't want mine to be like that, so I'm just going to do it this way. I'll come here and then I'll do a shoulder slant, 1.5 inches from here. For the neck width, I'll use a neck width of 3 inches. And I'll use a neck depth of 1.25 inches. Then I'll draw from here to here. This is going to be the back neckline. Now I can cut it out. Now I can take the paper out. Here is closed. I'll cut it out now. Please notch the center back. Now I'll take one of this out. Okay guys, so for the collar at the front, to get the collar, remember I used 1.25 for the neckline. I'll put my 1.25 on this back neckline, and then I'll measure down 9 inches. Okay, 9 inches. Now from these 9 inches, I'll mark 2 inches inward. If you want yours to be a tiny collar, you can use 1.5 inches. Then I am going to connect from this mark, this 3-inch mark. I'll connect to the 2-inch on the 9-inch mark. I hope you can see it. This is the 9-inch mark, and then I'll connect up to here. Then I can draw a straight line down. Now that I have cut this, our pattern is sorted. So I'll bring in the back pattern like this, and then you place the front pattern on it, right side facing. And then you sew with a 0.5 inch seam allowance here. And here as well. Alright, so I have joined it at the shoulder and I have overlocked it. Now, I want to fix the belt on the inside because it has a belt. I cut a fabric that was 3 inches wide and that's 29 inches long. So I have 2. You understand? I folded it into 2 right side facing. I sewed it with a 0.25 inch allowance, and then I turned it inside out and I ironed it. So this is it. This is the right side of the fabric. Now, to know where to place the belt, this is the neckline. This is the joining, the shoulder line. Now you measure, you get your waist measurement. Ordinarily, my waist measurement is 15.5 from my neckline. But then what I'll do is this, I'm going to deduct 1.5 from 15.5. That will give me 14. The reason why I'm deducting 1.5 is because, you know, this is a kimono. It falls on your body. I'll mark the same thing here on the other one, 14 inches. Now, from the 14 inch, I'll mark 4 inches inward. And then I'll get my belt. I'll do it this way. So this one is facing here. You sew here, okay, on the belt. And then this one as well. You put your belt like this, and then you sew it as well. Also, while I'm doing this, I am going to measure the opening of my neckline in order to fix the collar. So from the center back neckline, the mid part of the neckline where we notched, I'm going to measure down. Here I have 65 inches. So if I multiply that by 2, I am going to have 130 inches. So I'll cut a fabric that is more than 130 inches long, let's say 135 inches long, but the width is going to be ½ inch more than what I cut. Remember, when I was cutting the front, when we were drafting the front and I cut 2 inches out. So I'm going to cut a fabric that is going to be 2.5 inches on fold and 135 inches long. Okay, that's what I'm going to use for the collar. So I'll sew this and then cut the collar and we'll continue. Okay, so I've sewn the belt. This is it on the inside for both sides. Here it is. And I've also cut out the collar. Get the midpoint of the collar. Here's the midpoint, notch it. And then you place the midpoint of the collar on the center back neckline where you notched here. Pin it all down, straight down, and then you sew with a 0.5 inch allowance straight down as well. on both sides. So that is that for the collar. Now for the sleeve area, I want to add the bottom design of this fabric to the sleeve area as well. So here's what I did. I cut this because I don't want the top part to be too plain. This is 5 inches wide. Then I folded it into 2 like this. So this is the right side. Now I'll place it here on the sleeve. And then I'll just run it 0.5 inch stitch down. So by the time I am done sewing, the sleeve will look like this. So this is just the design for the sleeve part. You can, if you don't have an extra fabric or you don't have a fabric that has a design that you want to infuse here on the sleeve, just fold your fabric 0.5 inch inward and then you sew just to hem the sleeve area. Okay, so I'll do this. I'll sew here and then I'll sew the collar as well, and then we'll talk about getting the cowl sleeve. We are almost done. So I have sewn the front and I've overlocked it. That's the collar. So this is it. I have this design here, and also the sleeve. I've also sewn this and overlocked it. So this is the design I'm going to have at the sleeve. So it brings out the beauty of the dress. That's why I did the sleeve pattern. Now for the cowl sleeve, the folded sleeve, what you do is this. You measure from your neckline where you stitched, the joining between the collar and the main fabric. You measure 9 inches. If you're the big side, you can measure 10, 11 inches. Pin it and then measure 13 inches. Still from the joining of the collar and the main dress, 13 inches. So the difference between both pins is 4 inches. Now what you're going to do is this. This is the right side of my fabric, okay? You're going to put the pins together, match the pin like this, pull it up, and then make sure that the pin here and the pin here, they are touching. So you can remove one pin and use one pin to pin both of them down like this. After that, you're going to measure down about 4 inches, pin it down. And here as well, measure down about 4 inches. Pin it. Then what you're going to do is to sew on the right side of the fabric from this 4 inch straight, just straight down like this. So after joining, this is what it is going to look like. Okay. On the other side as well, like I said earlier, from the joining of the collar and the main dress, measure 9 inches, pin it, and then still from that joining, measure 13 inches, pin it, and then you bring the pins together. Remember, we are working on the right side of the fabric. Bring the pins together, make sure they are touching. Remove one of the pin and use the other pin to pin it down. Now fold it this way. And then you measure 4 inches down from your shoulder joining, mark it. And then you sew, fold it inward like this, and then you sew from this 4 inch mark straight down to this 4 inch mark, straight line. Do this and do this. Okay? After doing that, the next thing you're going to do is to fold your fabric like this, right sides facing. Bring the sleeves together. And then you sew straight down with the 0.5 inch seam allowance From the sleeve, you sew straight down to the hem of the dress, up to the hem. You do the same thing on the other side. Make sure you do the sleeve first, okay? Join it together, ensure they are aligning. And if your fabric is also a pattern like mine, make sure that wherever the pattern starts or ends, they align, okay? So you sew straight down with a 0.5 inch seam allowance on the side. After doing that, you're going to hem your dress. I'm going to use 2 inches to hem the dress. So I'll just fold 2 inches inward and hem. So to finish this coat, you need press buttons here. You're going to find the place where you want to start. For me, I'll start at about 13 inches from that's about where I put the belt. I'll start from 13 inches from the shoulder. That is where I will start. That is where I want it to start closing from, okay? So from 13 inches, you mark 13 inches on the left and on the right. Ensure that it aligns on the collar like this. So you mark on the inside for this one, mark on the outside for this one. So the one with the pin is the one you're going to put on the left. Sorry, on your right. The one with the pin is the one you're going to put on your right. Okay? This is the right. And the one that is flat, this one, is the one you're going to put on the left. Okay, so you can pin it like this. All right? Then you measure at what interval you want the press button to be. If it's every 2 inches, if it's every 4 inches, for me, I want it to be every 4 inches. So I have marked. You may not be able to see this, but this is where I'll start from. So I mark 4 inches down, pin it. This is my pin. Pin it here as well. 4 inches down. So I marked 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Both on this collar and on this collar. So my kaftan or BouBou will open from here to the M, which is what I want. It is going to be open. Okay? And you can style it anyhow you want. So, if you also want to put a button, you can as well put a button. If you want to put a button, your button will be on the one on the left. This is where you sew your button, on the one on the left. Then the buttonhole will be on the one on the right. Okay? I hope you understand. The buttonhole will be here. The button will be here. But if you are using the press button, the one with the pin will be on the one on the right. And the flat one will be the one on the left. So I am going to sew the press buttons and then that will be all for the dress. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe, like and share. Drop a comment. If you have any questions, ask. I'll try to attend to it. See you next time. Bye.